Okay, so we're going to put an invisible zip on. Make sure you try to run it before you apply it on. The first thing we're going to do before we change the foot on the machine is to seam. Naya, have you got the dress part? Naya, did you have the dress part? Bring it here. Now I've attached just a red trim. It's a bias cut, a piece of fabric that I've attached and then turned over and just seam close to the edge, and it's created like a bias binding on the side. Now I've overlocked the sides, and I've just overlocked basically the lining of this because it doesn't need to be overlocked where the net part is, because net is not fray type. So we're going to apply the zip, but before we apply the zip we're just going to seam a little bit of this. Now the seaming, we'll just run a straight seaming, just attaching this lining a little bit away from the edge, just in line with what I mentioned earlier, that we don't want the lining, the upper portion of the fabric caught close to the lining, and it is the lining fabric that I've overlocked. Now this, the reason why we're doing a seam on this is just to keep the two pieces together. I'll do that.
I like this. One. Which dress are you gonna wear?
I don't know. We're not going to take it right to the bottom, just about 3/4. Now the other thing that I want to do is I want to add a red belt here. So the red belt,
It's not a belt.
yeah, I'm gonna have a belt. Well, I'll do the seam on this and then we'll
A real belt.
make the belt,
You have them, of
and
course.
hopefully
Look at the white belt. The white belt.
we'll make the belt. And no, I'm just gonna have a red belt.
Seriously, a red belt. Who's ever seen a red belt before?
No, the reason why we're gonna have a red belt is because
Is it
now
gonna
the zip
be-
is gonna run about 4 inches or 5 inches below the seam for.
So it's gonna be like. Tell me if you can hear it.
We're just gonna seam this about 4 inches down and then finish off. Just double stitch and seam off. Now for a moment I'm going to pause here, and this is just to explain the seams prior to attaching the zip. So we've left the zip is going to be just below, falling just below the waistline, so it's easy to get on and off, and basically the zip that I'm going to use is approximately about that much. So if we want, we can seam on this and take away the rest of the zip, which is, I'll seam about a couple of inches below this, and then what we'll do is just double seam it and trim away the excess zip.
I'll show you how it's ends the dress. I don't know, and the pants are a surprise. I don't know what colour they're going to be.
Cream. So change the foot to an invisible zip hemming foot. And then now I've attached attached the belt because what we want to make sure is the zip goes on the inside of the belt. So when the belt closes, the zip is hidden away on the inside. Jazakallah. Thank you. Can you see where I've thrown the zip? Is it falling down on the floor somewhere?
Oh, he's here. He's here.
It's a bit hot actually.
I know it won't go cold. Go there.
That's alright. It's alright. Okay, so the zip is going to get attached like the right side going downwards. So what we want to do is leave a little bit of a space at the top, and then placing the unfolded part close to the edge of the guiding foot. Open up the zip, and as you're sewing down, open it up, uncurl the end of the zip. This is an invisible zip. Beauty of these zips is that nicely put on, you can't really tell that there's a zip there. I suppose that's the whole point of it being invisible. So uncurl and stitch close to the edge, going past the line of where the two fabrics have met. So I'm going further past the opening of the two meeting points of the fabric, and we're going to sort of attach this.
This is more cold.
Yeah, just leave it there. We're going to attach it about a quarter of an inch past this line, and then double stitch and break the thread. Thread, not bread.
Bread. You said bread.
Now what we have is be careful that the threads don't get trapped inside, and then we go the opposite side.
I'm gonna sleep on this mat today. I'm gonna sleep with this is the mat.
And make sure that the zip's point is close off the zip. Do you know, each time I attach this zip, because I do it normally at quite long intervals, it might be months before I'll go and put another zip on, and you do have a tendency to forget. Okay, so the one side is on, so we're going to go to the other side. No, just put it a little bit further away. I'll wait now until I finish the zip, and then. Now, keeping in line with just how much of a space, what you need to do is before you go fully attaching this, what you need to do is mark this. Can you find me a pen, please? It should be on one on the table. And can you get any glasses as well, because I can't see.
These ones, or the other ones?
They'll do. Okay, so the two edges of the zip, where I want it attaching from is around about here. Okay, and we need to bear that in mind, because if you attach it in the wrong place, what will happen is the zip's balance, it will not be even as it comes down to the end attachment. No, it's alright, I'll just manage with these. Okay, so once you've marked it, open it back up. Now you've got to bear in mind which side is being attached. So we know that it's this side, and we're going to be putting it on the wrong side. This time the fabric is going to go towards the inside of the machine, and now where we marked it to is over here, and we've got to uncurl it and place that. And this time this part has a dual sort of like a locking sewing part, so you can sew it from either way, and that's the reason why it has the dual, so that you can sew in the opposite direction on the other side. Some parts of the machines, they like have the one-sided, like if you look at hemming foot, if you were using one of these, you could only use the one side unless you had a foot which had a specific. With this kind of foot, the groove is on both the sides, so it can be used, either side can be used. Don't do that. You nearly, Naya, don't do that. You're making it go backwards. And if I'm sewing, look, you just made me take the thread out. That's for making the machine go backwards. And if you do that, what's going to end up happening is the machine's going to go backwards, and I'm going to have my hand there. It's going to end up sewing my hand. Is that what you want me to do? I don't think you'll be going to the wedding if your daddy's hand gets sewn.
Your 2 pens trapped in here in jail, never get out, and just wiggling around. Pens wiggling around in jail.
There we are. That's the invisible zip attached on.
Invisible
Zip, yes.
Because did he make it disappear?
Well, the reason why it's invisible is because you can't see it.
I can't see it because you're just covering it with the dress.
Covering it with the dress.
Yeah, because you can see